he's the one that connects everything. He's the one that connects the midfield to the attack line, and without him and them putting Dom right back, I just knew it was going to be a long afternoon.
The limbs at the end, by the way, can't be proper Liverpool away limbs, can you?
Not the Liverpool fans who are from there. They'll love you for the rest of your life. I hope he doesn't ruin it for himself.
Are we back?
I'm laughing at the way you asked it. Like talk about eggshells.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Inside Liverpool. We are on TalkSport's YouTube channel and coming to you as well on your smart TVs. And this show is sponsored by BetMGM. You can download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18 plus. GambleAware.org. Please gamble responsibly. I'm your host Sam Ellard, and I'm sure you know the regular dream team by now. It's the former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant, the former boxer Paul Smith. Guys, hi. How are we?
Good, thank you. All good. All good.
It's another show. And we're talking about another Liverpool victory. We're recording this just a couple of days on from Liverpool going to Nottingham Forest and winning by a goal to nil. The Reds had one Alexis McAllister goal disallowed in the 90th minute and one Alexis McAllister goal allowed in the 97th minute, earning us a very, very late victory at Nottingham Forest at the City ground. Not the best performance, Jermaine, and at the end of that game it was all a little bit crazy, wasn't it? But good fun for us.
Yeah, I think the first 45 minutes was probably the worst I've seen Liverpool play in my time. It was terrible. It was garbage.
Of all time?
Probably that 45 minutes.
It's got to be a Hodgson 45 minutes in there somewhere.
I don't know.
Like
I'm sure
home or something.
I'm sure of an Hodgson there would have been a few attacks and maybe looked like we're scoring, but we just couldn't keep the ball. It was giving away. It was getting turned over left, right, and centre. Just looked absolutely lost. We looked like we played on a Thursday night, not Forest. Second half was better. And for some reason with Nottingham Forest, we've struggled over the last couple of seasons. Like they're our bogey team, and we've had to score twice late against them. You know, with Nunez and Jota. But it's all about right now just getting 3 points, no matter how. If you've got to put on the balaclava, go in there, steal, heist, you got to do it. And that's what we did.
And the limbs at the end, by the way, I mean, that was proper for both goals, but the one in the 97th minute, I've seen some people that go to the game saying that was the best away limbs we've had since Nunez scored at the same ground a year ago. You can't beat proper Liverpool away limbs, can you?
No, it was jammy. It was jammy, and you'll take that all day. But I watch a game. This is the beauty of, like, when you're with pros, I watch a totally different game than Jermaine's watching. He's 10 moves ahead of me. He's watching I'm watching it the first half thinking, like, why are these teams like really tearing up against us and we're awful here? And I'm watching thinking, like, we're doing terrible. We're not doing really well here. He's not doing well. Curtis Jones wasn't really good on the dead. I'm not picking him out, but watching it from my perspective, because I haven't got that confidence of an ex-pro to know what's going on. I'm watching, I'm thinking we're absolutely terribly, and then I heard the analysis at half time. I thought, like, well, at least I'm on the right page, because I thought that was absolutely awful, but I don't want to slag the players too much or the team, but pulled it round in the end. I wanted to ask Jermaine as well. I wanted to ask sort of anyone who knows what they're talking about, like, that goal for me, what got disallowed, like, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah,
his arm's touching his body, isn't it? But I think it's just because it's a goal that comes from it that it has to be ruled out.
Yeah, it's simply just the ruling. You know, he can't. If there's anywhere on the pitch, it goes play on, and you know, if someone else touched it last, they knock it in. It's a goal. But just the fact that he went straight into the net, and the ruling says if a goal is scored, that will come off your arm, hand, it is deemed no goal.
So I imagine that if that was in our half, in our area, it wouldn't be a penalty against McAllister for it, because there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah. I think if just released directly to a goal. Yeah. But I take that's the rule which the referee or the VAR had to imply. But I kind of almost agree with you. I think if a football player, because McAllister, you could tell, was doing his absolute best to almost kind of tuck his arms into his body like that, I still then agree with you. Someone's like, if it was a little bit out, then fine. But if a player does his best, Jermaine, to jump like that, I don't necessarily agree with that rule then, that even if it goes directly to a goal, it should be disallowed, because where can the arms go?
I agree, and I'm not saying this because it was against Liverpool. If it was any other team, I would say, look, it's harsh.
You got away with one.
Yeah, and I think the rules need to be amended in some way, not just for that, but a lot of things for common sense. Because like I said, if someone boots the ball literally, a couple of feet away from you and your arms are tucked in, there's nothing you can do, then unfortunately it's just one of those accidental, things that's part and parcel of sport. But yeah.
He finally got the goal off.
Yeah, that was do you know what his last goal was, Liverpool?
No.
His last goal was in the 5-1 win against Spurs when we sealed the victory, the league title in April. That was his last goal for Liverpool. So it's been not too far of a year, McAllister. Yeah. So quite simply, is it fair to say, Paul, that, as Jermaine rightly says, from the footballing side of the game on Sunday, we were absolutely nowhere near good enough, but maybe the mentality shift is noticeable? I think that game, if that game was played a couple of weeks ago, we go on to lose that game. We didn't play well, but you have to give the lads credit for still digging in there, fighting hard and going right towards the end.
Yeah, listen, I was always having digs at me Man United mates or Arsenal mates or everyone else, and when we just 1-0s. I'll take 1-0s every single game. I'll take 1-0s where we're not playing well every game.
You can't on Saturday, by the way.
We can't on Saturday, but I will that game, and I will every other game, because that's how, what we used to always hear when Man United were ripping through the Premier League in the 90s. That's how you win leagues. You scrappy 1-0s here and there where they just don't go your way normally.
But people say it's the sign of champions, isn't it?
Yeah,
winning games when you're not playing well.
Exactly. So I'll take that, even though we are champions. We're not going to be this year, probably, but probably.
I like that one.
I've got to be optimistic.
I say almost.
Probably.
So I'm going to check how many points you are behind Arsenal. I don't even know. It's only 15.
I think so. No, but look, you'll take 1-0 wins all day, every day. But that first half, obviously, we needed massive improvements after that, and we finally got them, and hopefully they can kick on. As you say, mentality-wise, they looked like it was there in the second half, but after that first half, anything was an improvement, wasn't it?
Well, this stat will just show how bad we were in that first half. Forest's tally of 12 shots was the most any side had managed in the first half of a Premier League game against Liverpool since the 6-1 defeat at Stoke in May 2015. That was Stevie's last game. And then in terms of in possession, our XG was not too far above 0 in that first half. I mean, Jermaine, it was sluggish. We were poor in possession, and what I found frustrating, we go to a team that are fighting relegation. They play Thursday night. I couldn't believe, out of possession, how almost deep we were. How almost like it's like we're playing prime Barcelona, trying to sit on the edge of the box, allowing them possession. We're Liverpool. We're playing Nottingham Forest. I'm almost like sounding like Roy Keane here. Like, smash into them. Win the ball back up. Why do you think we were so bad in that first half?
I think with Slot, there's a little bit of scar tissue when he comes up, when he's had certain losses. So against Forest at Anfield, when we got pummeled 3-0, they literally scored 3 goals on counter-attack. We was the better team. We was pushing. We was trying to score. We did have chances, and they just broke 3 times, scored. So I think that was playing in his mind how their system and how they play. Let's try and stop the counter-attack. So let's not push too much. Let's not give too much away at the back. Let's try and stop their their strength and what they do, trying to nullify them. But in doing that, it also kind of hurt Liverpool. But hopefully now, this is a lesson learned for Arne Slot in stop taking Dominic Szoboszlai out of midfield and putting him at right back. Because if you were to put Dominic right back or Jones right back, there's not a massive difference in what you're going to get from right back from those two players. Okay, Dom's a better player, but it's not going to be, you're not really going to notice too much of a difference. It's not like you're putting Trent there, but taking Dom out of midfield and putting, you notice a massive difference. It's night and day. So for that, you got to just keep him in there. Like, you got Gomez here, you got Curtis Jones, anyone you can play there. So hopefully this is a lesson learned, because as soon as he changed in after 30 minutes, second half, which looked a lot better.
The thing with what you're saying as well, I can only relate to my game, and in my game, if you go out and you focus so much on what your opponent's going to do and not really what you're going to do, then you're inviting the pressure and you're inviting sort of hard times and tougher times, obviously, rather than if you just go out and relax and play your own game or fight your own fight or do your own thing. But I agree totally with what you're saying. It's like we're just too worried, nervous, expectant maybe of something to go wrong because of the way the season's gone at the moment.
Carragher, I'm sure people, if they wanted to, could find it somewhere on YouTube, but Carragher on TV maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago did a really good piece on how the first half of the season we were way too open from a defensive point of view. Teams would be able to cut through us way too easily, and then almost Slot kind of halfway through the season has then kind of completely sacrificed the attacking play. He's gone the other way to kind of prioritise being defensively solid. And in that time period, we've drawn games at home to likes of Leeds and Sunderland and Burnley, where we are looking defensively better. We're not losing those games, but then in terms of control and domination, we don't seem to be able to dominate and control games, do we?
No, we don't. And like I said, I think it's all the start of the scar tissue from the start of the season. That he just still hasn't, after 27 games, hasn't quite find that balance yet. It's not, too attacking and it's not too defensive. He just hasn't got that balance yet, and we at times we do struggle, especially when we come against the lesser teams.
I think the Szoboszlai point, by the way, is an absolute is brilliant. I think James Pearce from the Athletics been writing about it as well in the last sort of 24 hours. Sunday was the 7th occasion this season he started a game at right back, and given the fact that Gomez was available, it did seem strange that he played there. He's got 10 goals and 7 assists in all competitions this season, Szoboszlai. I mean, how many more would he have had if he was playing further up the pitch? And again, I think first part of the season, I didn't mind him trying it with him moving into midfield, but I think Gravenberch and McAllister this season, as the two that go into that midfield, they're not looking anywhere near like the players of old. No. And then you've got our best midfielder playing a right back, and it does just seem like a massive waste of talent, right?
No, 100%. That's why I touched on. I said if you put Dom there, you're losing a box-to-box player. For starters, who gets up, you're losing an energy. Who likes to get around the pitch, and you're losing that attacking prowess off someone who can strike a ball. Yeah. No one else can hit a ball like Szoboszlai in the team. So you're losing a lot just to compensate someone that playing right back, where right back is not a key position, especially if you want to score goals, when you've not got a Trent in your team anymore.
See, you know the difference. I like a bet on the football every week. I have a little bet build in
with BetMGM, obviously,
and I have a little bet and I enjoy it. But I always now Szoboszlai is going to be playing right back or could be right back. I do him more for an assist because I think he's probably got a bit more chances of getting assists from there. But scoring wise, probably not as much. I used to get so frustrated watching Hungary and watching not Hungary. I watched the clips of Hungary when he scored a screamer, and I used to think, why can't he do that for us? And then he wasn't taking the free kicks, obviously. Now he's on them. He's scoring them, and as you just said, how he strikes a ball is unbelievable. I don't think I could do that in a million years. But watching him and seeing more of them goals, it can only be a big positive. But he's going to do more of that from the centre midfield.
Also, for the goal, his ball into the box is brilliant, by the way, because he's a long way out. I mean, lots of players, I think, in that position, given the moment, might maybe have gone for the safe option, giving it to one of his mates. But he's got, he kind of goes on his left foot, doesn't he? Shifts it back onto his right foot, and then the ball, the way he whips the ball in for Van Dijk is brilliant. We were playing in the Liverpool team. Remember there's a time where I think Stevie gets shoved down the right hand side for a period of time under Rafa, maybe. I remember there being quite a lot of controversy there. Maybe Alonso
Stevie's
were you playing in that team? Or
Stevie's played everywhere. He's played left, right, forward, you name it. He played everywhere, and he can play everywhere. So I was surprised if he was out there.
Let's talk about our positive shouts. I think lots of love's been given to the young kid Rio Ngumoha, who came off the bench and made a big impact, didn't he? But it's interesting. Never before has Slot called on the teenager before the 70th minute mark in a Premier League game, and in only 5 of his 9 outings has he been given more than 10 minutes of normal time to make a difference. But I think it's fair to say that he came on and made a big impact. He completed more dribbles, attempted more dribbles, and created as many chances as both Salah and Gakpo combined. They both really struggled, didn't they? But how refreshing was it, Jermaine, to see a young kid come off the bench? He had 10-15 minutes to make an impact, and every time he got the ball, we wanted to look up, be direct, and of course it was his cross, wasn't it, for the McAllister disallowed goal.
Yeah,
he made an impact when he came on.
No, he did. And you know what is more refreshing? When I was watching it, and I watched the game, and I was like, finally, it was a player going to the byline and putting a cross in the box. It's not difficult. You don't have to beat a man. If you're quick, you have to drop your shoulder, a quick yard, you cross it in the box. And that's where the McAllister's goal came from, obviously disallowed. Gakpo didn't do that once. I know it's on your weaker foot, but you're a professional footballer. You still can do it.
Honestly, I was just going to say, the problem, and I don't want to be digging players up, but that's Gakpo's main trait.
But even Salah, though,
does not go to the byline. Salah always cuts in, but Gakpo doesn't seem to be able to do it. Salah will get to the line only, but then he'll cut in along the line and try and come into the box. Gakpo, every time it's pulling back to try and cross in, and I hate the fact that I noticed it and that it got pointed out to me. I think it was my daughter's fellow who pointed it out to me, and ever since he said it, I was like, oh my god, you're right.
It's so frustrating. I think if I was playing in this era, it was so enjoyable. Because everyone's just waiting for you to come inside. You look at Saka, he does it. I know he does it better. He goes down the line as well when he goes to the byline. But you don't have to beat your man. You just have to, you drop a quick, if you're quick and you've got fast twitch fibres, you go first. You don't, you just clip it back stick. Dink it so he can't block it. He puts his foot there. It's so frustrating.
I saw one of them memes or whatever they are recently, and it's got a winger in the 90s. And it was just getting crossing. And then they showed you the winger today, and it's like cutting in and then trying to walk it in and stopping. And it's right though, in like the old-fashioned winger isn't a winger anymore. No. Look at Salah's numbers. Obviously, he's technically, he is a winger, but he smashed every record for goal scoring and assists and everything else in the league. But an old-fashioned winger of getting to the byline, crossing the ball, and it's not necessarily that they're like the wing backs who do that now, aren't they? And the wingers are expected to cut in the way Gakpo and Salah does. But it is refreshing seeing Ngumoha, as I said. And I think I've watched him a couple of times, and I'm not being harsh saying this, but you're watching a couple of games he's had, you think you're just not ready yet, not just yet for the impact that he's having, but he certainly had impact on the weekend. I was buzzing for him.
I think what this is, I think there's a lot of teams now obviously are playing players on the opposite side of where their strongest foot is. So if for me, you put me on the left, you're always going to come in on your strongest foot because that's where you feel comfortable and that's where you think your position's going to be spot on. Sometimes just put someone on the right footed, put someone on the left, just give it a go.
That's exactly what we've got, isn't it? With Gakpo and Salah. Like Salah will always cut inside, Gakpo will always cut inside. Could they play on that side? I think it was you that said it a couple of weeks ago by Andy Robertson. Can he not just go over and play right back?
Yeah, I did say that.
He seems to do it, but the defenders...
That's the best I've ever had on the show, by the way. I'm really proud of myself with that one. You don't see left backs going right back, do you?
No, well, there has been some, but for me, he can easily do a job at right back, easily.
What were you doing at 17? Remind us, where were you at 17?
I was at Arsenal.
When did you make your debut at Arsenal?
I made my debut when I was 16.
So at 17 you already played for Arsenal?
Not my debut, I played a game in the first team. So my first debut, my first start was when I was 21.
Okay, so a few years older than where Rio Ngumoha is at. Like, lots of Liverpool fans on social media are, play this kid. West Ham Saturday, start him. Quite clear from that stat I read out that in only 5 of his 9 outings has he been given more than 10 minutes of normal time to make a difference. Can you remember being that age? And can you kind of try and tell us, like, can you understand why Slot is trying to manage him? Like, do you think it'd be irresponsible just to throw him in there and say, come on kid, get a Champions League football? Or if you're old enough, you're good enough. It's as simple as that. Or good enough, old enough that way.
There's a bit of both argument. You can understand why he's taking his time with Rio, but at the same time, if someone's coming in and changing a game in that manner, then this is not his first start. This is his first game, or he's scored against Newcastle at the start of the season. He's been around long enough now to, okay, let me put a little bit of trust in you. Well, let's start you. If you don't perform or you're not giving us the impact, we've got some big players to come on when the lads are tired to make a massive impact. If it's Gakpo, if it's Salah. So 100%, I think we should give him a start because, like I said, he's more direct, and that's what Liverpool need right now. So if he's going to go to the byline, he does both. He's not scared to get to that byline, and he comes in. If he starts on the left, he comes in on his stronger foot. So for me, I think he's got to show a bit of trust in Rio because he's earned that right now.
The thing with me, it might be a silly analogy, and I'm always going to compare sports, but me at 17 or a boxer at 70, you've got to be special to hold your own with the men at the top, and it's maturity. But he looks like he has that maturity. Now, getting in for a few rounds with one of the best fighters or the good fighters, that's okay. Doing a full fight is different, and I think there's obviously a little bit of a similar analogy. He might be really good coming as impact, or he might be really good starting, but realistically, you're not going to get 90 minutes out of a man at that top level. It's a lot. It must be. Again, I'm only imagining because I've never played at any decent level whatsoever. It must be daunting mentally for him. It must be very challenging mentally to know that you're going on against West Ham or something and you're playing, you're looking at possibly a full 90 minutes, or you're starting a Premier League game, you're coming out, and at that age, it must take so much mental strength and maturity for a young kid to be able to handle that. I always think back to obviously the likes of Wayne Rooney, Michael Owen back in the day, like how they managed that mental load of
the pressure of
media, stress, fans, everything.
It's just them themselves and their ability. They trust their ability. They know, because they're training every day with these top players. You know, the defenders that we've got in our squad, they're training with them, playing with them, so they know what they're doing on a training pitch. There's no different when you train with them. It's intense. The intensity is still like, you know, game kind of training. So
would a few of the older fellas be throwing the foot in and all that and roughing them up to the
well,
time?
in my time, yeah,
trying to get them ready for
in my time, I had Martin Keown and Tony Adams breathing down my neck, saying all sorts, coming down my calves. I was like, wow,
you poor thing, Martin Keown.
Yeah, like scared.
I get intimidated by Martin when I see him on a Monday morning on the 17th floor. I'm like, morning Martin, yeah. Arsenal.
but going back to it, I think, like I said, now he's used to it. He's had a taste for it, and I think he's ready for a start. Not 90 minutes, but you give us a solid 50, a solid 60. Bring on Gakpo, bring on Salah. When, like I said, the other team's tired. It's a perfect scenario.
So again, all I can go off is my game. But if you know you're only doing 60 minutes, I would imagine they would be a better 60 minutes. If you're sparring someone, you get told you're only doing 4 rounds, you're going to give your best 4 rounds.
If you're having the game of your life and you're turning the defender inside out and scoring and assisting and looking absolute dangerous, the manager's going to go, let's just leave the kid, let's leave him. You know, but it's when the manager sitting on the sideline goes, right, he's looking a little bit tired. Yeah, let's try and spice it up now. Let's bring in some more energetic pace in there, some fresher legs. Yeah. Then just drag him out. But if he's there and he's on flames, then we sit back and go on, son.
He's got that potential as well. I mean, he is looking like a talent, definitely.
Yeah. I was literally about to say the same thing to you there, Jermaine. I mean, whether it's he starts Saturday, whether he doesn't start the rest of the season, we've got some player on our hands, don't we, long term, because what he's done in such a short space of time this season, he's one for the future.
Again, he's going to get stronger, he's going to get quicker, he's going to get more,
Does he need to get bigger, more or do you think part of his game is sort of being a little bit, a bit more nimble and stuff, or do you think he needs to maybe physically, just as he gets older, get bigger?
Well, that will come naturally.
Sure.
He will get stronger and get a little bit bigger.
Paul can help him out with that in your local gym.
I might be wrong in saying this, but his build reminds me of like a Sterling. He's strong as anything. Same with like Salah. Salah doesn't look much stature-wise, size. So strong, unbelievable shape. So strong, a low centre of gravity, really strong. Like some of the best fighters, obviously at the lighter weight, unbelievably strong. But they just don't look it that much in it with the football. He's obviously going to need to keep his speed and keep his agility, and as you say, to be able to play the way he plays, he relies on that speed. But hopefully he doesn't bulk up too much, trying to worry about strength, because I think he looks good enough already, strong enough.
So that was good. What not so good was, again, the performances of the two wingers that started. Mo Salah's longest Premier League goal drought is now. His previous worst run for Liverpool spanned 6 league matches between December 2020 and Jan 2021. Early in his career, he fired blanks in 8 top-flight appearances for Chelsea. However, he's now failed to score in 9 league matches for Liverpool since nesting in the home win over Villa in early November. Last season's Premier League Golden Boot winner, which feels a long time ago now, doesn't it? He got 29. He's only got 4 to his name, and of course now in late February. I think it's sad to see, Jermaine. Every Liverpool fan will say he's either, I don't know, for me, I've just got Gerrard's my favourite player in the Premier League era, but then Salah's a close second. We know he's a legend, Liverpool, etc, but watching Mo Salah just struggle week in, week out, it's tough to watch, isn't it? Or am I being a bit harsh?
No, not at all. It is, obviously, when you watch what he's done for us over the 9 seasons. It's been nothing but phenomenal, absolutely fantastic. And when you see a player all of a sudden have a 29 goal season in the Prem, and then he's with 3/4 away through and he's got 4. That's a massive drop off. That is huge, and of course it's hard to see, it's hard to watch, and we just look at Mo and we just see what he's gave and what he's done for us over the years, and this is not him. But in saying that, like, every player at some point in their career will have a slow decline. The goals will start drying up. They won't be as efficient as they once were.
But Jermaine, you use the word decline there. This isn't a decline, is it? Like, it's not like he's sort of just gradually. This is like being the best player in the Premier League last season to a player now who just doesn't even look close to the
I get it, but there's a lot of things that are coming in to that. So, like I said, each season goes by, each year you get older, you slowly decline. But on top of that, he's lost one of his partner in crime in Trent. And then on the back of that, there's a lot of team shuffling, different manager, different style. All those things put it into one is never going to be easy for whoever you are. Doesn't matter how good of a player you are.
And we've been spoiled by him as well, haven't we? Like, his numbers and his stats have been phenomenal, like more than we all expected. And if he wasn't scoring and he is on the drought like he is, as long as he's getting the assists, you'd be okay. But he's not getting them either. At the moment, he's got a couple here and there.
I just want to throw in, if he was putting up numbers, because they call him their Arsenal star boy, but if he was putting up numbers that Saka would put over the past 5 seasons, this wouldn't be a drought. This wouldn't be, oh my God, look at the drop off.
No, I think that's very true. It's because, you know, some people would say, even non-Liverpool fans, that, you know, I don't know, maybe Thierry Henry number one, but, you know, Mo Salah's in the conversation for being not just Liverpool's greatest Premier League player, but the greatest Premier League player of all time. He's only in the top 3, top 5 bare minimum. So you're right. We are holding him, aren't we, Paul, to the highest standards. You said we've been so lucky to have this superstar at our club for the best part of a decade.
What always stands out for me is the clips or the stat sheets that do the rounds, and it's got before Salah and after Salah, and it's every record in like the Premier League before Salah, it's all different names, and after Salah it's just got Salah. And he's smashed every record out there. So he's been unbelievable. If anything, we've probably been a bit spoiled by him. I remember when we first signed him, I'm thinking, why are we getting a kid who couldn't really do it at Chelsea? And he's not good at. But I said the same about Andy Robertson. Why are we going to hold for the player? And you just after that, I trust whoever they buy and whatever they buy, and I'll back them and trust them and hope they do well. But Salah at the time, I wasn't really expecting too much, and so when he's come, he's absolutely blew your mind. He's been one of the best players I've ever seen in a Liverpool shirt, and I love him, and I hope he can find a little bit of form at the end, so it isn't a bad sort of bad break. And there's a few people who I know and I read, and I read like the way he is on the bench, and they're not happy with how he's behaving.
So when he got substituted on Sunday, correct me if you think I'm not doing this justice, but it felt like it was like a smile, and I almost thought it was a bit like, I can't believe you're subbing me, and then he was on the bench, and I think he was seen laughing with Gakpo. Is that what you're referring to?
And look, Jermaine might agree with this or not. Again, I don't know how it truly is in football, but the great fighters, the great players, the great athletes, you've got to have that arrogance. You've got to have that bit of arrogance in yourself. And I can't believe he's taking me off. Or what? He thinks he won that round. You're like you've got that ego and that arrogance, because that's what makes you the great player you are. But when you're on the bench and you're still laughing and things like that, like, it's a little bit frustrating.
I will tell you exactly what it is. Even when you're not having a good game, you hate being subbed, because you're looking at the clock, you're thinking, right, there's 15 minutes left. I could possibly get a chance here. There's still time for me to do something, even though the previous 75 minutes you was absolutely garbage. You're looking, you're thinking, well, there's still 15 minutes left. All I need is that one chance. So you're like, don't bring me off. If we get a chance, I want to be that guy to score, or
and
I might
normally
assist.
Is that guy? And he normally
so throughout the seasons and throughout the years, he's that guy who sometimes came up late and scored, whether it's a penalty, whether it's the last minute goal, or some form of helping hand in that move. You're thinking, I've still got that time to do it. So when your number comes up to be sub, you're disappointed because of the performance that you've just given. You don't want to end on that. You want to go all the way to the 90th minute just in case something happens.
And do you think also there's a bit of that arrogance there where he's thinking, like, who are you going to bring on instead of me? And he's probably looking at who's coming on, thinking, like, do you think he's going to do better than me because he's Mo Salah?
I know, but the way Salah's been playing over the last 6 to 8 weeks, I do think the young 17-year-old kid could have caused more of a threat. And
and he's not a basic 17-year-old kid. He's obviously
he's a pretty special talent.
You're looking at our bench, right? Because I looked at the bench and I was thinking, wow, we've got
some of the best benches.
We've got literally 4 kids, and Chiesa and Gomez, and if we need who we're going to, and obviously Rio's made a massive difference. Chiesa's a little bit, he's still miles off it. So Salah's probably thinking, wow, you're bringing me off for literally academy players.
And I'm glad you just mentioned obviously Chiesa then, because like this is my attitude when I'm watching them come on. I'm watching Chiesa come on, and it's just not there.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing Rio come on in a couple of games, and it's just not there. And you think like I can see it. Like Rio's an unbelievable talent, and he's going to be a star. Fingers crossed. But it's just not ready yet when I'm watching it, and I don't want to be harsh because it's a 17-year-old kid. As you just asked where Jermaine was at 17. I remember when I was at 17, and
well, you're at 17
as a young junior boxer, boxing for young England.
What age was your first professional
fight? 20, and the first time I did anything really as a senior, I was 19.
I think in Ngumoha I was 16 when he scored that goal against Newcastle. I think he was still 16 then.
I was in the academy.
Place watching it, unbelievable, and I hope he's another star like your Michael Owens and the young players of the Premier League that have come through like Rooney. As I say, I hope he is, and I hope he stays with us. But when you're watching it and it's a bit frustrating because you're already losing or you're already down or it's 0-0 and you're against a team that you should be beating easy, and then he comes on, you think, well, go on lad, you can do this, and then nothing really materialises. But obviously on the weekend it was different.
Yeah. And just one more on Salah. I hope there's a couple of big more moments for him in front of the Kop. And assuming he does go in the summer, I think we all know he's obviously. I want him to. I want there to be no more fallouts. No more. I want it. He deserves final home game of the season.
Yeah.
Every single body in that stadium with tears in their eyes. And thank you, Mo Salah. And I hope whether we come 4th or 10th or win the FA Cup or not, it has to end like that. Yeah. And it feels like any sort of animosity that there was between Slot and Salah. Yeah. Might be best mates, but that feels like that's gone.
All I'm thinking is I hope he doesn't ruin it for himself, because you've seen a lot more than the average person who isn't from the city in Liverpool. The city of Liverpool, the Liverpool fans who are from there, they'll love you for the rest of your life. You'll never have to buy a drink in Liverpool if they love you and they're behind you. You'll always be welcome back. You'll always be treated well when you come back, and you'll always be remembered fondly. And I don't want him to ruin that for himself. No. I know he's played for Roma, he's played for Chelsea, he's played for other clubs in the past, but I'd like him to be able to pack in and always have that affinity with Liverpool. We've seen Jermaine with his shirt out the other day with me, and
we'll get to that soon. We're coming on to that.
So playing for Liverpool is special, and we as fans think that, but the ex-players that play there know that, also know it a lot more than we do. So
I'm sure,
I hope he doesn't ruin his legacy with behaviour from now till the end of the season.
I think we kind of got through the hardest part of the kind of the mix zone interview. We kind of recovered from that, so I agree with you. I think again, whatever happens in terms of on the pitch, I think off the pitch he's going to get that reception, ovation he deserves. There was a big blow, wasn't there? Florian Wirtz was supposed to start, didn't end up playing. It felt like we missed him, didn't we? Just that ability, that composure on the ball.
I was like, ouch, when I saw the team sheet and I was like, he's been pulled out. I was like, oh no, that's because at the moment he's the one that connects everything. He's the one that connects the midfield to the attack line. He's the one who can get the ball from defence and create an attack. He's the one with the creativity. He's the one who's linking off Ekitike, and without him and them putting Dom right back, I just knew it was going to be a long afternoon, and it just shows how much of an important player this guy is.
I seen the team sheet and thought, good team.
Yeah.
Got on literally 30 seconds on, put the match on, thinking,
I was confused.
Yeah. What's going on? And he zoomed in on him in the crowd, in between one of the security fellas and another. I'm thinking, what's going on? And I'm asking around, and everyone in the house is just doing stuff. No one's actually watching. I'm thinking, what's going on? And let's go on my phone and look to see why.
Also, Curtis Jones played like somebody who had just been told 5 minutes before the game that he was playing. He looked all over the place, didn't he, Curtis?
Again, Carragher said that on the analysis, and I don't want to steam into a player, especially Curtis Jones, especially local lads. They're going to have good games, they're going to have bad games, but as you say, like I don't know the football inside that, but I know if you get in the fight or you get in the ring cold, you're going to probably come out cold. That's the saying. And I think if he's just been told last minute, right, you're playing, he might not have slept well, he might not have had the right food, he might not have
hasn't warmed up with the same intensity as what he's needed to. When you go to the games, I was at Chelsea Burnley on Saturday for TalkSport. The subs come out 15-20 minutes afterwards, and the subs are basically always doing keep-uppies while the first teams are warming up. So Mark has not been physical. I can imagine you doing that. I bet you.
I ain't warming up. I ain't warming down. It's stretching.
When I'm in the tunnel afterwards about to see the interviews, the footballers who are either on the bench or come off for the last 15-20 minutes have to go back out and do a warm down, and you can see they've got a face like thunder as they got to go out into an empty stadium and run up and down the pitch.
On that topic, when we were at Arsenal, me and my brother went down to watch it, and we ended up like on the pitch at the end, and I'm watching Curtis Jones. We ended up talking to him, and he's doing his warm down, and it used to always, I look at it, I think I would hate that. You've sat on the benches of all 1-3, your mates in the dressing room celebrating,
you got to go,
and you've got to go and do your drills. But we used to have it a rule in our old amateur gym. If you won early, if you knocked the kid out in the first round, second round, if you knocked him out in the first round, you're getting 4 more rounds of pads after.
So you've got to finish off.
So you've won your fight, you're back in the changing rooms, because you're fighting the next day or 2 days later, your coach is giving you your pads and your workout. You won 1 round, but you still need 4 rounds out, so you still got to do your work. It's similar with the football, but it must be soul destroying. You just won, and you got to go and do your running drills.
These poor footballers, they've got a tough, haven't they? One thing I wanted to mention, the disallowed goal. Have you seen, when we thought it was a goal, the Ibrahima Konate cartwheel celebration? For those that haven't seen it, type into social media Konate cartwheel, McAllister scores, and then Konate, who's miles away, decides to do a cartwheel. He didn't look the most elegant kind of cartwheel, but he's a bit of a character, isn't he, our Ibu?
I'm just happy he's celebrating. I'm happy that it means. I love seeing players, as a non-player, as a total fan. I love seeing players what it means to them as well.
And the goal that did count, by the way, they're all near the away end. He's like on the. He goes over into the barricades. On the barricades, and is giving it with the away fan advertisement board, but also, by the way, like, I spent the first 6 months of the season watching Ibu Konate, and I was almost like, I will drive you to the airport and take you wherever you want to go. Now the last 6 weeks, I'm sitting there like, I want this guy to sign a new contract. He is well and truly brought me back in. Last 6 to 8 weeks, he's been absolutely outstanding defensively. Him and Van Dijk, but back together.
I think I actually tweeted that. I'll give him a piggyback whenever he wants to go. Or I'll drive him to Madrid myself, the way he's playing at the moment. But that's the thing. If no one mentions Madrid, or if there is no mention of any other club and he's just playing bad, I'm not going to get on his back. But the fact that someone's mentioning Madrid, or he might be mentioning Madrid, or he's flirting with Madrid, or whatever, I'm thinking that, like, you've got to be playing at your best to be doing that. If any other clubs are being mentioned and you're not giving 100% or playing well, then that's a big no-no for me.
An absolute disaster first few months of the season, just making mistake after mistake after mistake. But from a defensive point of view, they were both fantastic again. So guys, 6-0 against Karabakh, happy days. 4-1 against Newcastle, happy days. That Man City game, how did that happen? Then beat Sunderland, beat Brighton, beat Forest, and those last 3 wins, all clean sheets, by the way. It's 5 wins in our last 6 games, 16 goals scored, only 3 goals conceded. Are we back?
Listen, I'm not saying that until the season's over. I need to wait until another.
What are you laughing?
I'm laughing at the way you asked it. Like talk about eggshells.
I don't want to go out and do the old Rio Ferdinand, but I mean, it's getting better, isn't it?
It's getting better.
Put it that way. That's definitely true.
It's getting better, and I think right now it's not about are we back or we're going to be back. It's just literally about getting over the line. When that 90 minutes, that whistle is blown, that we've got 3 points. Whether it's lovely, whether it's ugly, whether it's scraped by, just get the 3 points. Let's get us in the top 4, top 5 Champions League football next season. And then we can talk in the pre-season, win a few games and go, we're back. We're back.
We're going to win the league. So Villa 3rd, 51. United... Goodness me, I don't want to see United be good again. It's like United 4th on 48. Of course, 5th place this season could, we think, will get Champions League. That's Chelsea 5th on 45. We in 6th have got 45. There's a bit of a gap now between us and 7th place, which is Brentford, on 40. In terms of what's coming up, we've got West Ham at home on Saturday. We then got, league-wise, Wolves away, Spurs at home, Brighton, Fulham. Again, on paper, we know it's not that simple as just win the games against teams below you, but again, it's not the worst run, is it, on paper?
No, it's not, but we've obviously we've had draws and losses against teams that we should never have drew or lost against, so it's one of them. I can't say it's one of them seasons this season. It definitely is for us, but the league is tight, and the league is a great league in my opinion. I don't watch much of the football apart from Liverpool.
You don't?
No, not really.
Like, you didn't watch Spurs Arsenal on Sunday?
No, I watched the first little, like 15-20 minutes because it was on the telly while I was in the house, but then
didn't fancy it.
I'm not necessarily a massive football fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. I would watch our reserves against anyone. I'll watch us, whoever we're playing. I watch Man City twice a year. I watch Arsenal twice a year when we play them. Like I'm not the biggest football fan, but I'm a big Liverpool fan, and I go every game and I try my best to go the ways. My brother Liam would watch Barrow reserves against Wrexham reserves. You know what I mean? Like, he would watch any football match.
Tough place to go and get a result.
Liam won a world title on a Saturday night. Went and played 45 minutes for the Sunday League team the next day.
Do you know how I know that? Because I was on the breakfast show the next morning. I remember talking about that with Laura was Nally McCoy.
Yeah, he genuinely did. And
did he miss a penalty?
No, so that's after he beat Eubank.
And he missed a penalty.
The day after he beat Eubank, he turned up to play for his team, and I thought I'll go down and watch him because a few of my mates were there, the photographers and the sky cameras and that. I thought I'll go down and watch with my lad. He missed his pen and I burst out laughing on the line, just being a brother, not realising that like all his mates near killed me because they're like part of the team. And like I'm thinking, well, it's only a bit of fun. It's football. He's only enjoying a professional boxer. That's his career, and he was distraught. He missed the penalty, but yeah, I just listen. As long as we get back next season. And we're back on track next season, and I'm still here next season, more importantly, because if I don't come back next season and we start doing well, you're all going to blame me for being a jinx.
Well, you broke your curse. So you're 3 now, so you're fine. You're fine.
I want to be back next season.
We know what you got to do. We'll take Stevie on one show, maybe Robbie, Michael. Come on, the busiest man, the most popular man in Liverpool. You can bring us one of your mates on the show, can't you? So come on then. I mean, United are in a decent run of form, aren't they? I think this Chelsea team, I watched them again on Saturday against Burnley, my goodness me. They struggled, Chelsea, to break Burnley down. If it goes to 5th place, I like our chances of certainly finishing above Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Chelsea are very inconsistent at the minute. They can put in some solid performances, good results, and then they can have some howlers like they did against Burnley. I know we dropped points against Burnley as well, but they're very inconsistent. So if we're going to go for anyone, I'd rather go up against Chelsea at the moment. Probably not going to sit well with the Chelsea fans.
No, we'll take
the way that they're on at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, good. Right, on to possibly the most important matter. I like to prep hard for the show, Paul. I like to sort of work out what I'm going to do, what I'm going to ask and everything, try and get the best out of, Jermaine Pennant, the former Liverpool winger, the Champions League finalist who is on Inside Liverpool on TalkSport's YouTube channel. You went viral, didn't you, Jermaine, last week for a very Liverpool-related comment, and it was not Inside Liverpool. What on earth is going on? And for those that haven't seen it, why did you go viral, and why did you upset one of the greatest centre-backs in Premier League history?
It was just a debate, who is better, and all I said was, in my team, I'd rather have Virgil than John Terry. And then it just literally went viral. Everyone's talking about how many trophies he's won and Champions Leagues and whatnot. Fair play, and I'm not taking that away from him. But my personal preference and who I'd rather go up against as a player would be Virgil. Would be John Terry.
When you said it initially, I think alongside Jamie O'Hara, weren't you?
But he was disgusted. He was outraged. I was saying,
what? So if someone sat there and I'd just go John Terry, I was like, all right, fair enough. But the idea, he was like,
what? It's like I said Joe Gomez.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like I was comparing Joe Gomez to John Terry, and you go, you what?
Yeah.
That's fair enough. But I'm talking about one of the greatest defenders.
100%.
That Liverpool
he's in
the
conversation.
He's in the conversation.
It's a valid argument.
Of course it is.
In my opinion, it's a valid argument, and it's not just people like me, fans, saying it. It's ex-pros saying it. It's pundits saying it. It's a very valid debate, in my opinion.
They're both two great defenders, and you can either have either or. It's not a massive. Because what I'm baffled me is he's nowhere near. I'm like, that's just a bit far-fetched. That's just a bit ridiculous. He's won major things himself. So he's won personal honours that no other defenders won.
The Virgil van Dijk that came to Liverpool, I think Alisson was the icing on the cake, but I think Van Dijk completely transformed that whole defence. And there was a 3-4 year period where he made no mistakes, nobody could get by him, and whether it was Lovren playing alongside him, Klavan, Matip, Gomez, he would make that next centre back look world class as well.
Look who he's had against. He's had no disrespect to these players.
JT had Carvalho for most of his career, didn't he?
But he's played with Desailly, Carvalho, Gallas. They're top defenders. Van Dijk's had Matip, no disrespect to these players, but they're not the players I've just named. Matip, Joe Gomez, Nat Phillips, Lovren, Reece Williams.
Dejan.
There's a big in what I've just mentioned.
Absolutely. I remember Carragher saying that whoever plays next to him will automatically raise the game and
he'd make me look good playing alongside him.
You're next to him. He makes anyone like that look good, doesn't he?
Yeah, there was a 3-4 year period where I don't remember watching a defender make the game look as easy as Virgil van Dijk in terms of just reading the game, dominance in the air, passing ability, holding a whole back four together. If you're a Chelsea fan, all Chelsea fans are going to prefer John Terry, Virgil van Dijk, fine, but like the idea that John Terry is so much further ahead of him is an absolute nonsense. And again, like also, what I don't like with these sort of arguments at all, by the way, is when people start mentioning, well, John Terry's done more than Virgil van Dijk. Yeah. Okay, sure, fair enough. But therefore, are we then saying that Steven Gerrard then not in the conversation for being best Premier League because he won no Premier Leagues? That's Carson. An absolute nonsense, isn't it? Exactly. There's obviously lots of bad, worse players than Steven Gerrard that have won Premier Leagues, but Steven Gerrard would get into most Premier League all-time 11s based on his ability, right?
Yeah. That used to be the argument always with Lampard and Gerrard, or Scholes and Gerrard. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, we're going to have our preferences, but watching them as players, I always look at it. If you want to learn about boxing, go and ask the boxers. Ask the ex-players who they think, and so many of them mention Stevie. No, he never won a Premier League. Yeah, he won the Champions League, obviously, but players that won the Champions League, the Premier League don't automatically rank above someone like Steven Gerrard because
of
course,
it's impossible, isn't it?
Winning trophies. It's not about that.
Yeah. Anyway, well done, Jermaine. Did us proud there, mate. Right, now
anyway, what I was going to say next is there's a lot of ex-footballers at the moment having charity boxing matches. So if you can't like sort it out there, then I'm sure I can make a few calls. I could make a few calls.
You're a pro now, aren't you, as well?
So one of my arm mates, well, not my arm mates, one of my current mates, a good mate, Bradley Orr, used to play football years ago in the Premier League. He's having his first fight in April. It's a big show in Liverpool.
Oh, Bradley Orr, yeah.
There's a lot of ex-players on there. I saw the list the other day, and it looks really good.
If you could get in the ring for charity, if you could get in the ring for charity with one ex-footballer, who would it be?
See, it would be me playing football for charity, wouldn't it? And I did it once at Goodison, and absolutely was terrified. Boxing wise, footballers, I'd love to get in the ring with Gary Neville.
I knew you were going to say Gary Neville. I know you are. Yeah, just toy with him and then give him the.
Yeah, that's it.
Poor Gary Neville never get more. I get punched to bits.
Just for his commentary, that's all.
Not about he played Man United for 20 years and won 9 Premier Leagues or whatever.
I've spoke to Carragher mentioned a couple of times when they very first started working together, he's a nice lad, and a few people I've spoken to said he's actually a decent lad. I know a few people who probably say different, but commentary wise, he's commentating on Liverpool Man City. I'm like why did they pick you to commentate on this game? Both sides can't stand you. The negativity's going to be coming from you. Why is he on? And a few times when he's on there, I'm shouting at the telly. I wouldn't mind a little spar with him.
What was the?
I think deep down he's a decent.
What's the Gary Neville banner inside Anfield?
I don't know. I'm not repeating it anyway.
No, I don't think there's any swear words in it, is there?
I don't know.
We'll save that for another show. Right, guys, let's dot the I's, cross the T's, and important business to attend to. It's now time for our Bet Builder with BetMGM. Remember, you can download the Apple Head to betmgm.co.uk. And of course, this is for Liverpool West Ham, Saturday 3 o'clock. By the way, a nice home game on a Saturday 3 o'clock, Paul. You'll be there. You're going to enjoy it. An old school 3 o'clocker. We love it. I'll kick things off nice and simple. Obviously, backing the lads. I'm going for a Liverpool victory.
I'm going to go at Anfield. Flo and Verts are going to back in the game. Yeah. And that was a big victory against Forest. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals.
Oh, okay. We're going for goals. We're going for a nice, comfortable Liverpool victory. I like that.
I think we will keep a clean sheet, so I'm going to do both teams to score no.
Both teams score no. Okay, so we've got Liverpool win, and ideally we're going to need a 4 or 5 or 6 nil Liverpool win because you've gone over 3.5 goals.
We are due one of them, though, aren't we? We are due one.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? We're due it.
Can you imagine at Anfield on Saturday, 2 up after 15 minutes?
Yeah,
just pinging the ball. Ekitike goes 1 up. Maybe Van Dijk.
If we get early goal, I'm telling you, that's a good bet. If we get early goal.
Okay, good. We like that. And again, you can head to betmgm.co.uk for more. That is the Inside Liverpool bet builder for Liverpool West Ham. Liverpool to win, obviously, in our opinion anyway. Both teams have scored no. We think Liverpool keep a clean sheet in over 3.5 goals. Okay, guys, good stuff. That's all we've got time for on the latest episode of Inside Liverpool. Anything fun coming up this week, Gemma?
Not this week. Actually, it's too early. I don't know. I'm going to have to wait.
What do you mean? You don't know what you're doing this week?
No, I don't plan like weeks and months now.
You basically get
some life these football.
You basically get asked to do something tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm around.
You'd be doing an advert for a lawnmower in Hawaii or somewhere on Saturday and then back for Monday.
Getting paid $100 or something to fly over there for a day's work or something like that, honestly. Paul, come on. I'm fascinated by you as a person, by the way. You're going Saturday, yeah?
I'm going to match Saturday, and that's it, really. On no Sunday, we've got something on Sunday with the family, so yeah, Saturday, I'll be at Anfield. I can't wait.
Good man.
Let me know if you want to come up.
Yeah, no, I promise you, I'm going to come up for a game this season, Paul, and I'm going to be with you and watch the game with.
I want an away. I'm going to go to a away game.
You want an away game?
Yeah.
How are you getting tickets in the away end?
It's Liverpool.
Just text Jeremy Frimpong, your mate. He'll sort you out, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, you're probably a boy now back up in Liverpool once again after you're putting that JT down to the ground.
Might message Virgil saying, "Listen, I had your back, Virgil."
So we've got West Ham Saturday, and then we've got Wolves midweek Premier League on the Tuesday night. We play them in the FA Cup again on the Friday, but Wednesday morning we're going to record the next week's show. So we'll have the West Ham game to look back on and the Wolves game to look back on, where hopefully, fingers crossed, boys, another couple of victories and we'll get ourselves back into the top 4. This has been the latest episode of Inside Liverpool. We will be back next week, and again, this show is sponsored by BetMGM. You can download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Another week where Liverpool Football Club are back to winning ways. Happy days.